Hi, I'm Jackie.
And I'm Candace. Welcome to WTF.
Women Talk Finance.
Our WTF podcast will take a simplified approach to finance, and we talk about investing, a topic we believe women don't talk enough about.
We'll discuss common financial questions and challenges that women face in business and throughout their personal lives. A quick disclaimer before we start. The opinions that we're going to discuss are just that. They're just our opinions. We are not here to give investment advice. We will be talking about who we are, what we're about, and what information we'll be bringing to you.
We'll be speaking to women from all walks of life whose experience will help us frame some of the issues and challenges that women face today in business. Maybe you're starting your own company and investing in your future.
We're going to talk about knowing your worth in the workplace, how to ask for that raise, and we'll also talk about investing, something we believe that women don't talk about enough. You'll find this is a common theme throughout our podcast to come. How to invest, different kinds of investments, and how to pay yourself first. We're going to give you actionable information that will allow you to understand how to make your future better starting today.
We're going to dive in a little bit deeper today on impact investing and gender lens investing. I think this is a topic you and
I think we can go there.
We can relate to. I think it's really important that we kind of talk about what impact investing is and gender lens, and then I think have a bit of conversation, and hopefully our audience can relate, has some thoughts and ideas.
Impact investing is just kind of spillover from ESG. Again, it's investment strategy that aims to generate specific beneficial social or environmental effects in addition to financial gains. It's going out and putting your money where your values are. Impact investments may take the form of numerous asset classes, and they may result in specific outcomes. They may not be investments for everyone, but the point of impact investing is to use money and investment capital for positive social results. So let's parlay that into gender lens investing, and specifically just coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic. Think about women during the pandemic. Career changes or moving from a career to home. Women changing how they invest if they weren't investing before, starting to invest. Let's start there.
So just an interesting statistic, right? During the course of just 1 year, 2021, the pandemic eroded 100 years worth of gains made by women in the workplace. I mean, that's shocking, right?
And sad.
It's very sad.
And frustrating.
It's really sad, really frustrating. Slap in the face to all the women who definitely worked so hard to get us there by 1 year in the pandemic. And so women had to do a ton of pivoting.
So was this because it was women that had careers and had to leave their career during the pandemic, or what caused this?
I mean, let's look at our scenario. What were we doing during the pandemic in addition to building a business, working crazy hours? What was our other priority? Homeschooling. We were homeschooling. We were having to manage a whole other little person's schedule while we were trying to work.
Tell me about the conversation you were having today about the different things the company did during the pandemic to support women.
To preface, the company is led by women, so we were able to make some really key decisions. So a couple of the things we did, we made sure that all of the kids of our employees had a Chromebook to do their Zoom schooling on, because first week of the pandemic, we realized, so many parents were trying to juggle the laptops in their home between their kids and themselves, and it was just an added stressor. The other thing we did was we hired tutors. So we hired an in-office tutor that was available. We set up stations.
There was like a little mini school.
We had mini schools all over the office. We kept them very separate, but the parents could bring their children to work, and our tutors would help them through their Zoom school throughout the day and work on their homework and just kind of alleviate some of that pressure of the homeschooling. We all became homeschool teachers overnight in addition to what we were doing. And I think that drove a lot of women out of the workforce.
I do too. I think about those families where maybe they had two wage earners in the home, mom and dad both worked outside the home, and all of a sudden you've got 2, maybe 3, 4 kids at home, and you're responsible for now making sure they're on their Zoom meetings. You're doing homeschooling, you're doing homework. I mean, you've got a full-time job as a teacher now, homeschooling your kids and still trying to manage a career. I don't know that it was possible for a lot of people, and I don't know that a lot of companies offered those same benefits. Some did, and I think this goes back to investing in yourself. As a female, it is possible. right? There are ways that you can make it all work. And a lot of times it's with the support and resource of a company that supports you and allows you to do it. And I'm glad that we were able to do that for our team. I think it's huge. And I think there are other groups out there doing it, but it may not be everywhere.
Again, part of this is to bring light to this. And I think we're not a big company. This wasn't something that was only available at a large business. We're a small firm. We have, under 50 people, and we did this. So I would say if you're out there and you're a business leader, make those decisions. We didn't need to lose 100 years. We didn't need to do that. It's important that we have these conversations. Every time we spoke about what our company was doing, I don't know about you, but I would get just complete shock and excitement about what we were doing to help our employees through those really rough times during the pandemic. And they weren't tough decisions to make.
And they weren't huge as far as being a big burden on the company.
Right.
It was things that we're able to implement, quite easily, but they had a huge impact.
They were a small cost for being able to keep huge value,
Yes.
right? Like the thought of losing some of our team members because of those types of household decisions that they were having to make at that time, that was a very small price to pay to retain that level of talent. And so I would encourage our listeners, if they're not in a position to implement that kind of change in their firm or their organization, find an organization that is supportive of that.
Yeah.
And can recognize that it's more important to keep that talent in the workforce, keep them in creation and building. And we want to support that.
This is impact investing, right?
Impact
Small ways
investing.
you can put your money to work to have a big impact.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
So the challenge of finding these types of investments or finding companies that support their team, their employees, their women in this way can be a lot of homework on the investor side. Often we want to find deals that can give our hard-earned dollars a place to go and let professionals manage those investments. Other people, like you and I, we want to do the research to find those companies, to vet those deals where we respect their business practices, how they run their business aligns with what we value. We see them making impacts in things that we care about, and then we can invite others to participate alongside us in those types of investment opportunities.
And I think oftentimes what I do is I don't necessarily go seeking out this specific data or finding companies that fit this niche. Oftentimes I'm reading an article about a company that has done really great, has done a good job,
And then you're like, mental note.
made an impact. And I'm going, I need to invest in this. That is how I've shifted quite a bit in the last several years of thinking, I really like this company and I like that they align with my values. I am going to make an investment. So it's almost like reverse research, right? It's I'm excited because I've read a good story about
Well,
them.
and this is the gender lens investing that we've been talking about. You look at a company now saying, how do they treat women? How do they put their money or their investment dollars to work to have an impact? And if it aligns with what you believe in, you're like, I'm all in. I'm for this.
One of the easiest things we often do is we look at their team.
Interesting. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Their executive profile, you mean, or their
Yeah,
their
I like
employee
to
makeup?
see what their employee makeup is, and I take a look at their team and see what that makeup looks like. And a lot of times, that's just right on their website.
And it kind of tells you what they value as a company by looking at who they want to include on their team. Smart. All right. Well, that I think wraps up our session on impact investing. Thanks for listening to Women Talk Finance.
Interested in investing in cryptocurrency? It's a simple way to diversify your portfolio. But what about the impact that cryptocurrency mining has on the environment? We have a solution. It's called CryptoWell. CryptoWell uses eco-friendly technological infrastructure to generate power for cryptocurrency mining. Accredited investors go to rowcapitalgroup.com to power your portfolio with sustainable crypto mining. Every day you hear about people making money by investing in IPOs and startups. But what about you? These kinds of investments are simply not available to Main Street investors. At Rowe Capital Group, we are committed to providing access to strategic, early-stage, primarily low-market correlated investment opportunities. Accredited investors go to rowcapitalgroup.com for more information. Rowe Capital Group, empowering your financial journey.